And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, Darren back with you here at Cross Timbers Farm. Welcome to 8th Day Chronicles. As you can see, we have a new to us tedder loaded here on the trailer, and we just got home with it yesterday. We bought this tedder yesterday from a gentleman on a small farm in East Tennessee. We traveled across the state lines into Tennessee and met with a really nice gentleman and his wife who had this tedder for sale, and we made a purchase that we've been needing for, well, a pretty good while. We had some rained on hay last year that even though it rained on it several days, and the quality of your hay really falls off when it gets rained on. And I'm not just talking about an evening shower. When it sets in and rains a couple of days and you've got hay down and your hay stays wet, the quality, even if you can get it dry quickly before any mold or mildew or anything starts happening, the rain on your hay will reduce the quality of your hay. But that hay would still be good for something. You know, just as supplemental feed, whatever. It wouldn't be quality hay, but it would be some hay you could mix in with good hay, and or even, you know, just do whatever you need to do with it. Feed it to cattle or feed it to sheep or goats, or you know, even whatever the case may be. Use it for bale decorations or whatever at Halloween, or. But in any event, that hay wouldn't have been completely wasted. When it rains on hay for several days, you could manage to salvage some of it, and there's some of it you're probably not going to be able to salvage. But we lost a lot of hay, and if we had have had a tedder at that time, I think we could have salvaged more than we did. And I think tedding your hay is probably good anyway. Even if you're not into rain, I think you can ted hay too late. If you cut your hay and wait 3 or 4 days, let it really dry down, and then try to ted it, I think you could possibly do more damage than good, especially if you have any legumes in your hay. You'll just shred the leaves off of it, and you're just kind of left with stems. But I think if you ted it the right time, cut one day and maybe ted the next while your hay's still got some greenery to it, and get that hay spread out to dry evenly, I think you end up with a better overall quality bale of hay. And tedding at the right time is important. And up to this point, we did not have a tedder, and we needed one really bad, I felt, to improve the quality of our hay. Even though we already have good hay, it would improve it even more. So we went on the search for a tedder, and we bought one yesterday, like I said, from a gentleman in a small farm in East Tennessee, and we got a really good deal on it. It is a 2-basket tedder, and everything is complete here. This tedder is complete. All the tines are here. No broken tines, no severely bent tines. The guards are all here. I even got, the gentleman was even nice enough to give me a spare tine. In case you break one, have one handy. He hooked the tedder to his tractor and ran it for me. And the gearbox and everything about the tedder ran silky smooth. There was no whine in the gearbox, no whine in the rotors, in the bearings. Everything worked perfectly. And you know, a lot of the smaller used headers you find for sale on the market, Some of them's in not too good a shape. They've been left sitting outside and really rusty, and I was fortunate to find this one. It's in really good shape, and I think it's going to make us an excellent tedder. You know, life on a small family farm and running a small farm, most small family farms are on a budget, and ours is definitely no exception. We're on a budget, and in my opinion, there's a few things that I probably won't shop for used, and then there's a lot of things that I think that a small farm on a budget should shop for used. And here we are in December, mid-December, and it's closing in on Christmas, and if you are in the market for equipment, now's the time to be searching. Midwinter, don't wait until spring to start looking for new equipment. Used, I should say new to you, used equipment. That's not a prime time to be looking, because the demand will go up. You need to be looking now and be searching. I've been searching for a tedder for 4 or 5 months now, and really midwinter is prime time to be searching for used hay equipment. And you know, spring rolls around, people's thinking about it, and they're thinking about upgrading to a big 4-basket tedder, you know, or a bigger hay rake, or whatever the case may be, a different tedder, a different hay rake. And there is some really good equipment on the market if you're careful and take your time and don't get in a hurry and search out what you're looking for. You can buy good hay equipment on the used market on a budget. You can. This hay tedder proves it. This is a good piece of equipment. This is a Rhino PT207 model, and it is it's not 3-point attached, it's drawbar attached, just what I wanted. And it come with a PTO shaft. Everything is here. Like I said, the gentleman hooked it to his tractor and ran it for me. No wobble in the bearings, no whine in the gearbox. Everything ran to my satisfaction. So, and the gentleman seemed like a very honest guy too. And if you notice here, the guard is off this side, but I have it. It's right over here. Just one of the bolts had broken on him. The tedder's never been crashed. I asked him if it ever crashed or anything. He said no. The vibration, one of these bolts broke, that I've got to get an easy out and get it out, and then it's just as matter of simple as installing a new bolt, and the guard will go right back on. I do have it here. All the tines, all the arms, everything is fantastic on it. So you can find a really good deal if you take your time and look. You know, buying used equipment, just take your time. If something makes you uneasy about a certain piece of equipment, just walk away. Thank the person for their time and just let them know you're not interested and walk off. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Don't go look at a piece of equipment on a rainy day when it's pouring the rain and you're rushed to look at it. Take your time. Look it over good. If someone will not hook it to a tractor and to the PTO and let you hear it run, if it's a running piece of equipment like that, then probably walk away. If it's something like a ground-driven hay rake, a side delivery, or a wheel rake, whatever, you know, they should be willing to hook that thing. If they tell you it runs, and they should be willing to hook it to their tractor and give it a spin for you to let you see it work. And if they won't, then you know, if they're an elderly person or something just trying to move it, then ask if you can hook it to their tractor and pull it a little bit to see that it works, you know. So take your time. Don't get in a hurry. Take your time searching. Search for what you want, what do you think will fit your needs, and keep your budget in mind. This tedder, I looked this tedder up, and this tedder new is a little over $2,000 new. And you may think, well, $2,000 is pretty cheap, but when you're a small family farm on a really tight budget, it's a lot of money for one piece of hay and equipment. And you know, if you take your time and look, you can find one for half that. You know, matter of fact, this one we paid less than half for it, so you can do the math there. Probably the price is right this time of year. That's why I'd recommend now to be looking for your used hay and equipment. And I've always got an eye out for some kind of used equipment, but especially now, if you're needing a hay rake or a mower, a disc mower, a drum mower, sickle bar mower, whatever you prefer, now's the time to be looking. And when you do find one, like I said, just take your time and inspect it really well. Make sure you're getting what you want. And I am super pleased with this tedder. Super pleased with it. To put it on the trailer here, we had to take a few of the teeth off, as you can see, or the tines like this. So we took a few of them off so it would fit over these rails on the trailer. Really easy to trailer at home, so it wouldn't break and bend these. But they're easy to put back on. All I've got to do to this tedder, if I needed to take it to the field tomorrow, would be to check the gear oil in the gearbox, grease the hubs on each end, put a little grease on the grease zerks there and grease zerks on the wheels, and grease my PTO that came with it in the joints and hook it to the tractor, you know, after I reassembled a few things on it. But over the winter, I'm going to take a little bit of time. Like I said, it's January and we won't be doing hay till May. So I've got plenty of time to really clean this thing up, get some of the grease off of it, and clean it up nice. Any of the very small rust spots it has where the paint's been chipped, and they're very little. This thing has very little rust, very little. I can take a wheel on a wire brush wheel and just hit these and knock the rust off and put a little Rust-Oleum paint back over it just to protect it from rusting any further. Just knock that off and put a little paint on it. Really, it's going to be very minor. There's most all the paints here. It rarely has even any chips of paint missing, but just a few little places on some of the arms, and that's about it. I'm going to reinstall the guard. Most of the used tedders of this style that you see on the market are don't even have the guards. They've been crashed, or the guards has hit fence posts or whatever, and they're missing. And a lot of the tedders I saw too, searching for a tedder, a lot of them has sat outside in the weather and they're just a heap of rust basically. And I was real fortunate to find this one at a price that I've even saw some of the heap of rusts. So really good deals can be found if you take your time and kind of know what you're looking for and know your budget and stick to that budget. You know, every dollar that goes out on a small family farm, you know, is a dollar going to be taken from something else. So you got to be conscious of your budget and get the best equipment you can for the best price you can. And oftentimes that means looking in the used market. A tedder is one of those things that I had no qualms whatsoever about buying used, and a hay rake wouldn't either. A hay rake used would be something that I would consider if I needed one, and a mower and a baler too. But you know, I use a mini round baler, and there's really not any of those mini round balers on the market used. People that's got one hang on to them, you know, so there's hardly none used on the market. So anyway, the next few days I'm going to take you along with us as we do some restoring on this. Like I said, it needs very little. The tires are up, everything's good, all the tines is here. We just need to do some touch up in the paint, clean some of the grease off of it, and just get it cleaned up, and a few things touched up with some paint, and ready to use this summer for tedding. So stick with us, and we'll take you along with us as we do some of the maintenance on it, checking the gear oil and all that, and getting it ready for use.